EJ Antoni. EJ Antoni is supposed to be the new commissioner of the Bureau of Labor Statistics after Donald Trump fired the former bureau commissioner of that bureau. Let's take a way back time machine to January 6th of 2021. See if you can spot this guy that's in the crowd.
USA! 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 USA!
That man you saw making his way through the crowd of January 6th rioters and traitors was EJ Antoni, the same guy who also said he wants to suspend jobs reports from the Bureau of Labor Statistics because Donald Trump's job numbers sucked. So since then, we're discovering that he was a part of the January 6th crowd. Crazy. He walked away after there was a bit of a smoke screen there going on in the back. I think there was some tear gas, something where it came from, and he retreated. He retreated right before this happened.
This is the revolution! Goddamn! We fight back because we held back! What's wrong with you? Do not let them fight anybody!
If only Donald Trump had sent in the National Guard and federalized the police force on that very violent day in that same city of Washington, D.C., that I heard is only violent because of minorities. No, those were Donald Trump's MAGA foot soldiers invading the Capitol because he's a loser. He lost that day, and they don't know how to lose. But still, EJ Antoni retreated right before that, so he had nothing to really do with the actual invading into the White House. As a matter of fact, NBC News was reporting on it, and they got a couple of quotes about what some of the response from this revelation. When reached by NBC News on Tuesday, Antoni declined to comment. A White House official said Wednesday that Antoni was in Washington on January 6th for in-person meetings with his then employer at an office blocks away from the Capitol, and that he did not cross any barricades or participate in any demonstrations. The footage does not show Antoni crossing barricades or demonstrating. I mean, he didn't cross any barricades. I feel like in the middle of a crowd that's chanting "F you" and we're going to take this back, and Donald Trump didn't lose, and hang Mike Pence. I guess I didn't see him actually saying that, but he's in the crowd of demonstrators. And if you see folks in the streets, say like in what Benny Johnson hated being the civil rights era, they didn't say, "Did you say F you?" or "Did you say F you?" Or did they go and attack everybody? Still, he wasn't demonstrating. And yeah, he didn't cross the barriers because I think some tear gas was pluming in the air and the guy ran away because he's a little bitch. I mean, fine. I mean, whatever. What kind of protester are you? What kind of insurrection? What kind of true patriot are you if you run away? More quote. These pictures show EJ Antoni, a bystander to the events of January 6th. He was just a bystander, observing and then leaving the Capitol area, is what that White House spokesperson Taylor Rogers said in an emailed statement. Quote, EJ was in town for meetings, and it's wrong and defamatory to suggest EJ engaged in anything inappropriate or illegal. I just know about these laws sometimes that if you're in the middle of a bunch of folks who are committing crimes, they kind of sweep up everybody and say you shouldn't have been part of inciting these riots and these crimes as people invaded the Capitol. Again, I'm not asking for the dude to be arrested and sent off. Oh, I'm sorry, to then be pardoned by Donald Trump because he said all January 6th people who did invade, who did attack police officers, who did harm people, who did threaten to kill lawmakers, that all those people were patriots and should be freed, and he's going to give them preferential treatment. How many January 6ers are in the Trump administration? How many January 6ers have been hired then by other MAGA folks throughout the country simply because they were a part of being that traitorous group that was trying to overturn an election that Donald Trump lost? I feel like it's a reward for being a traitor to the country. That's just how I feel. So one last party, just the back end of this NBC report when they're talking about his nomination, how it may shake down.
The president announced a little bit ago that he's going to nominate economist E.J. Antoni from the Heritage Foundation to lead the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Now, this comes after Donald Trump fired the last BLS commissioner earlier this month after the latest data showed that the job growth had been a lot weaker than previously reported. Trump claimed those numbers were, quote, rigged, but offered no proof to back that up. If Antoni does indeed get the job, he'll have to be confirmed by the Senate.
So he's just been nominated. He has to be confirmed by the Senate. The Senate, of course, we know that Congress is controlled by Republicans. I just want to give you guys a quote from someone else that was talking about confirmations about someone else. And I only want to point out because I'm curious as if they're going to go down a similar route here with E.J. Antoni, which we've now seen was a part of the January 6th demonstrations there. While Republicans control the chamber, January 6th has caused issues for Trump nominees in the past. Trump withdrew his nomination of Ed Martin to take over the U.S. Attorney's Office for the District of Columbia. That's after Senator Tom Tillis, Republican from North Carolina, indicated that Martin's past support for January 6 participants would be a deal breaker. I wonder what Tom Tillis is going to do now. I wonder what the rest of the Republicans in the Senate are going to do, is they have to confirm this guy to be the head of the Bureau of Labor Statistics. That is a position where he said he's going to eliminate some of their work because Donald Trump told him to. I wonder if his associations with January 6th and all those other insurrectionists, if that's going to be something that hinders his confirmation process. It just might be. It might be another case of what happened to Ed Martin. It's just that once Ed Martin was gone, he put in Janine Pirro. And we know what she did yesterday. Made an absolute fool of herself.
I am, I'm not going to bore you with the facts. Don't quote me on that. That was off the record. I can only hire during certain periods once there's been an ad or some kind of posting, and then I can hire. Okay, I'm doing it. I'm doing the best I can. The president has given me the permission to hire.
You just walked through the changes you'd like to see from the punitive aspect. What about preventative? Do you or the president plan to do anything to address the root causes of crime in D.C., such as truancy?
My job is to try to heal the victims and prosecute the criminal. Everybody else can deal with rehabilitating the individual. I honestly am not concerned about why they commit crimes. My concern is if they commit crimes. My concern is the victims of the crimes. That's my job as a U.S. attorney.